Now at 4, secret sex recordings, the explosive allegations against an IMPD officer.
And the rain and snow may be gone, but the clouds are going to stick around at least through most of the weekend. But what about temperatures? I'll show you what to expect.
And reducing overdose deaths, the community effort that kicked off today to save lives. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at 4 on this Friday. We start with a growing concern on the city's east side, specifically the 46201 zip code. New data shows it has the highest number of overdose deaths in all of Marion County.
Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick shows us the new community effort that kicked off today to reverse the deadly trend.
In this east side parking lot, volunteers are packing hundreds of bags.
Here, let's move those to the empty side of it.
With flyers, resources, and naloxone.
Fentanyl test strips, and then she has xylazine test strips.
Hoping to provide life-saving support to those who need it the most.
For years, this neighborhood has been disproportionately affected by the opioid crisis.
That neighborhood is the 46201 zip code. This year, the community has already seen 44 fatal overdoses, making up 11% of the total overdoses in Marion County.
It's really disheartening to see just it consistently occur in this neighborhood.
It's why, for the first time, the Marion County Public Health Department is teaming up with community groups to do a targeted approach.
All right, we're going this way.
Going door to door, spreading awareness and handing out resources. The goal, to reach nearly 1,500 homes.
How are you doing today?
Maggie Zahn is with the Damien Center. She says the work is personal.
I've lost quite a few friends due to overdose-related deaths, and so it's something that is very near and dear to my heart.
Saying a priority is making sure people know where to get help.
A lot of people just don't know. It's not that they don't care, it's just they're unaware of the resources available to them.
Knowing each step and every knock could be life-saving.
If that saves even one person, that's all that matters.
In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick,
Every 3 houses.
13 News.
Working to save at least one person. On to more news. An IMPD officer turned himself in today, facing multiple charges, including voyeurism. Officer Shane Decker is accused of recording sexual encounters with women without their permission. And in at least one of the videos, Decker is apparently on duty asking the woman to listen for his radio number in case he gets a call. This all started when another officer found a USB drive in a station vehicle. And when an officer reviewed the file, he found the recordings. The Special Investigations Unit was called in shortly after. Court documents say Decker is also a part of an investigation into illegal adult massage parlors. Many of the women in the parlors are suspected victims of human trafficking. Right now, Decker is in the Marion County Jail. And the fight to legalize marijuana in Indiana just got more support.
And that support is coming from some well-known Republicans. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here to explain.
Legalizing marijuana, at least for medicinal uses, was an issue addressed by the gubernatorial candidates. Governor-elect Mike Braun has said it's an issue he would look at, but he first would want to consult with law enforcement about how that would impact their jobs. Now, a new organization is taking up the cannabis cause.
Safe and Regulated Indiana says it's a coalition of Hoosiers who are advocating for the regulating and taxation of marijuana, like already happens with tobacco and alcohol. The group says it's time for Indiana lawmakers to tax and regulate marijuana for adults who are over 21. The coalition has the backing of some prominent Republicans, including spokesperson Joe Elsner, former executive director of the Indiana Republican Party and former chair of the Marion County GOP. Republican Indianapolis City County Councilor Michael Paul Hart is also part of the coalition. Hart told 13 News he sees an opportunity for additional revenue for the state and the city of Indianapolis that could be used for public safety, education, and infrastructure. Republican State Representative Jim Lucas has been at the forefront of this fight for years, proposing legislation that would legalize cannabis for medicinal purposes.
I'm 100% convinced that there are countless tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers that can be helped by this. And Indiana still takes the stance that, hey, we'd rather ignore helping our own citizens. We would rather continue to criminalize them for seeking a better quality of life.
Lucas says he plans to offer legislation on marijuana in this upcoming session, and he's already met with some members of Governor-elect Braun's staff to discuss the issue. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
All right, Emily, thank you. Today we learned one of the victims from a triple shooting last night on Indy's west side has died. IMPD tells us that shooting happened at an apartment complex on Wind Drift Drive East. It's near 38th Street and Dandy Trail. Investigators say when they got to the scene, they found two men who'd been shot. One was taken to Eskenazi Hospital. The other went to Methodist, where he died.
Sure, it's tough for people that live here, another tragic act of violence in our city. And of course, people that live near here puts them on edge, makes them nervous.
After finding the first two victims, officers found a third nearby. They tell us that man is stable at last check.
Now to the latest on the Trump transition today. A day after Matt Gaetz withdrew himself from consideration for Attorney General, President-elect Trump has submitted a new name.
He's now tapped Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General from Florida. Here's NBC's Bree Jackson.
Under pressure from allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration as President-elect Trump's choice for Attorney General.
Well, I mean, there's a sense of relief about it, of course. I think he did a pretty noble thing.
I think for someone to be nominated to be the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States and facing persistent and disturbing charges involving sex trafficking and drug use really caused some real challenges for him.
Overnight, President-elect Trump choosing Pam Bondi, a former Florida Attorney General, to lead the Justice Department. There are also concerns about Trump's nominee to head the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth. NBC News obtaining a police report detailing allegations that a woman accused the former Fox News host of sexual assault in 2017. Hegseth denies the accusations and was not charged.
I'll keep this very simple. The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely clear, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Some senators say let the vetting process play out.
Why didn't they prosecute? Why didn't they? We tend to prosecute even after prosecutors choose not to prosecute these days in the media.
Others raise alarms about Mr. Trump's cabinet picks overall.
You need qualified people who cannot have information in their background that could be used against them, blackmailing or anything else.
Mr. Trump's choice to head Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and former Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, his choice for Director of National Intelligence, each facing scrutiny for their past statements criticizing the departments they've been picked to lead. President-elect Trump's former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, also blasted Tulsi Gabbard, referring to her as a, quote, Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer. A Trump transition spokesperson fired back, saying Gabbard is a combat veteran who saw devastation caused by wars championed by people like Nikki Haley. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
All right, taking a live look over downtown Indianapolis on this Friday afternoon. Looks like maybe the sun trying to peek through there a little bit. Pretty heavy cloud cover, though.
The clouds have texture.
They do.
That's what we call it.
Hey, Felicia, did you have a chance to get out and play in that snow yesterday?
Of course I did not.
It went fast.
Nothing fell from the sky today, Rob.
No, it was looking pretty good. We did have a couple of sprinkles here and there, but that was about it. And
okay. Nothing that I saw fell from the sky today.
I saw the neighborhood kids, by the way, playing with the snow out there. It was nice to see the snowmen, but it was a nice day for it. The temperatures weren't terribly cold.
No major issues with
No major problems. Things have changed a bit. Most of us, including here in Indianapolis, we didn't see the rain or the snow, but there were a few sprinkles here and there. Because if I say you're right, somebody from Muncie will say, oh, wait a minute, hang on a second. We did get a little sprinkle here and there, and it's true. In fact, a lot of that was actually coming off of Lake Michigan. Temperatures have warmed way up. We're into the 40s now, even approaching 50 degrees at Shelbyville, but this is the big warm up that we're expecting to continue through the weekend. So tomorrow it'll get a little bit warmer, maybe close to where we are currently. And then by the time we look to Sunday and Monday, we're going to be back into the 50s. So we're looking at temperatures that are 12 degrees above where they were yesterday at this time. And yes, there was a little bit of moisture coming in off of the lake. There were a few sprinkles around the area, but most of you did not see that. It was certainly an improvement. Now the clouds are going to stay with us. Clouds will stay with us through the overnight. It is going to be a bit on the breezy side. We'll still have some northwest winds that are going to add a little bit of a bite to the forecast, but I think your temperatures overnight should stay above freezing. We're talking mid to maybe even upper 30s. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, it's more cloud cover. But speaking of peaks of sunshine, I think by the end of the day tomorrow, we could see a couple of peaks of sunshine. And that's a sign of things to come for your Sunday. I'll have that forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Rob. Organized break-ins. The warning going out now to both NFL and NBA players. Plus,
something has changed within me.
She doesn't give a twink when anyone thinks.
Something is not the same.
To sing or not to sing? The wicked debate behind one of this holiday season's most anticipated movies. You're watching 13 News at 4. We'll be right back.